Is the agency model dying? Are Google Ads agencies going away? What is going on with Google Ads agencies? These are questions I hear all day from clients and my agency partners and friends. Welcome to the Google Ads Strategy Hub podcast, where we demystify Google Ads and empower you to take control of your advertising. I'm your host, Sarah Stemen, and today we're tackling a big, maybe even a controversial topic. And that is why the traditional Google Ads agency model is dying, especially for small businesses. If you have ever felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, where you need to run ads, but you're not able to afford a high-end agency, or you're stuck hiring maybe a cheaper one and getting zero results, then this episode is for you. Whether you work on the agency side or the small business side, I want to break down for you why the old agency model is no longer working. I want to explore a new path forward that puts you, the business owner, or the person working at an agency or considering starting an agency, in the driver's seat. So let's talk about it. The problem with the agency model for small businesses. The number one reason why the agency model is failing small businesses is cost. I mean, it's all economics here. Most small businesses that I see simply are not ready for a traditional agency. When they hire one, they think like, oh my gosh, I'm making this phenomenal, amazing decision for my business. But they're just not ready to be paying for both ad spend and the management fee, which can be thousands of dollars per month. So let's talk a hypothetical. If you have a $2,000 monthly ad budget, which is a fairly low budget in Google Ads, a good agency might charge you about $2,000 in management fees. And then to top that off, you now are paying your fees to Google as well as your fees to the agency, and you're looking at $4,000 a month, but only half of that is actually going to your Google ad spend. I think that is incredibly problematic. That math just doesn't work for small businesses trying to get off the ground. It's a huge barrier to entry. And so with that, we have seen the rise of button pusher agencies. What is a button pusher agency? Just like it sounds, this cost issue agencies have seen, and it forces business owners into a tough corner, and nothing like having a business owner in a tough corner to create a market. So they can't afford these high-end strategic agencies. So they end up looking for cheaper options. And what do you find? A button pusher agency, happy to take your business, happy to take your call, and basically hope you forget you're paying the bill. They'll make it so cheap. These are low-cost firms, promise the world. A lot of times what I've seen is they have more salespeople on staff than actual Google Ads strategists. These quote-unquote strategists are running 50 or 100 accounts, Google accounts. I mean, they're clearly not strategizing or going to bed at night thinking about your client. And I can assure you with 1,000% certainty, I would be walking outside thinking about my clients when I had clients at my agency. But again, I was at a very high-end agency. So it is something that I absolutely thought about at night. They are not thinking about that. They're probably thinking about how to survive the day. So here's the problem. They're not strategists. They're executing the basics, barely, if that. They're setting up a campaign. Maybe they check it once a week, if that. I mean, 50, 100 campaigns, you can barely look at it. And they send you an automated report. They're pushing buttons. But here is the kicker right now. Google Ads has fewer buttons to push in 2025. And Google itself as a platform is getting smarter. So with the rise of AI, performance max, automated bidding, and a lot of the manual tasks that agencies used to do are now automated, especially for button pusher agencies, which are literally just trying to get in your business, give you a low bill, and just do the basics. So the busy work, button pushing, it's disappearing. And so if you're paying an agency just to push buttons, you're paying for a service that's becoming more and more obsolete. Google can push its own buttons now. And so therefore, those agencies can take on more victims. I look at this as a victim. And these low-tier agencies essentially are dying, or, putting businesses in such a tough place that they're running away. And so what does a small business really need? They need strategy. They need somebody who understands your business, your market, your customer, and they can build a comprehensive plan in Google Ads to achieve your goals. And that is a level of strategic thinking that's expensive, frankly. It takes years and years to get to that really intuitive level of strategy. For me, sometimes when I'm working an account, like I look at it and I'm like, okay, I could go this direction or that direction. I'm thinking about it. And then I'm making a bet, and I'm making a bet based on 17 years of experience, my gut, what I know from essentially reading and talking and using Google Ads all day long. So it's not just a decision that I'm making based on what I've read for a year or two. It's something that comes with a lot of experience, a lot of hands on time in the trenches. And that essentially is what high end agencies offer. Bring us right back to that original cost problem. So, what is happening? There's a great shift right now. Great PPCers are becoming coaches. And so, what I'm seeing in the industry, and again, from where I stand, and I don't want to say which agencies I'm seeing, but I can read the tea leaves here. I am seeing agencies that are absolutely shifting to a coaching model. They're starting to promote their coaching model, they're moving in that direction. They're taking on fewer clients, they're shifting, and I can see that going on within the industry that may not be as transparent to small businesses. So where does that leave you, the small business owner, or potentially again the person that's thinking about going into an agency, if it's working in an agency, wants to go freelance? It feels like an impossible situation. But again, with the shift happening, many truly, truly brilliant PPC experts like myself who really, really care about moving the needle are moving away from that traditional model of managing campaigns. Why? Because we all see the same problem. Small businesses are getting burned by cheap agencies or priced out of the expensive ones. And when I say 2000 by no means is the mark of an expensive agency. That is bare minimum for what I start to see with better agencies. But the cost of a truly, like, I'm going to call it like a New York, Madison, Fifth Avenue managing household brand agencies is way, way beyond that. That is a percentage of spend plus a hourly cost on strategy work. So all those decks that I talk about doing when I worked at a bigger agency with big clients, all that being briefed, that was at an hourly rate that was significantly higher. So that being said, many of us experts have moved into coaching instead of managing your account for you. We teach you how to manage the account yourself, and we provide the strategy, the framework, the support, the meetings. And so essentially all that strategy work without the doing, because again, those buttons, they're becoming easier and easier. If you have someone looking over you, you can become the expert for your own business, essentially. And I think that's a secret that a lot of agencies don't want to say out loud. Now, this presents a new challenge. Again, I think many business owners don't even know that the coaching for Google Ads exists. Their only option is to either hire an agency or struggle through it alone. I think a lot of businesses really do feel that way, especially when I get on the phone with someone. For a long time, what I did is in my LinkedIn, which is where I have generated millions and millions of dollars of leads. With my LinkedIn, what I actually did is I had my lead form go directly to managing. And then I would have a client come in because I thought they needed management, and I would explain the economics to them of, here is how much I would charge to manage the account. You probably can't afford that. Here's an alternate route. So again, I called it a bait and switch. I don't think it was exactly like that. I think really the reality is what it was is I was doing an educational service to convert a business owner to what they really needed. But second, I think for the business owner, there has to be a mind shift. They're told for years that Google Ads is incredibly complicated and that they shouldn't touch it themselves. And honestly, there is some truth to that. I think Google sells its platform on being easy, but we all know that there's countless hidden buttons and settings that can absolutely drain your budget in a heartbeat if you don't know what you're doing. And I think, again, I talk about it on this channel, there's all that context that I've built up over these 17 years. And so in one way, the platform is designed to be easy to spend your money, but it's hard to spend it effectively. So here's what I want you to hear if you've made it to the end of this video. You absolutely are capable of managing your own ads. No one knows your business better than you do. And with the right strategy guidance and your business knowledge, you can actually run an incredible amount of money through Google Ads. And you can run your campaigns that are more effective than what many button pusher agencies are going to offer. You just need that roadmap. So the old agency model, yes, it's broken. I firmly believe that. I believe it's very broken, especially for small businesses. It creates a gap where you're either paying too much for strategy or you're paying too little for ineffective management. But the future isn't about finding an agency. It is about empowering yourself with the right coaching. You can save thousands on management fees. You can put your entire budget towards acquiring your customers. You can gain full control of understanding your ad performance, which feeds into your business, which, if someone else is managing and doesn't have the time to talk to you, you're not even getting that. I think that is a tremendous, tremendous undersell about running Google Ads is the business knowledge you get directly from the platform. And you can build a skill that will serve your business for years to come. I always say that I have taught an administrative assistant that was taking phone calls for their business. I trained her on Google Ads, and that client's been one of my happiest clients for years now. So really for you, it's about shifting from being a passive client to an active, empowered manager of your own business growth. If anything I've said today resonates with you, or if you're tired of feeling stuck and want to take control of your Google Ads, I am here to help. I offer one-on-one coaching designed specifically for business owners like you. We work together to build a custom strategy for your business. I teach you the ropes. I'll be there to support you every single step of the way, and we'll turn you from an overwhelmed business owner to someone that's really confident in Google Ads as a strategist as well. Or again, training someone on your team like I did with the administrative assistant. To learn more, see if we're a good fit, feel free to book a link in the description below. Visit my website, and I'm happy to chat about your business goals. If you're still not quite ready, I also will answer comments in the comment fields, and I answer a lot of these in videos. I answer a lot of them on my LinkedIn, and I use what you're telling me in the comments and in general in conversations for more and more content to help you on this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Google Ad Strategy Hub podcast. You can do this. You just need the right partner to show you the way.